Okay, so welcome to the Year 12, the 2022 Year 12 celebration. I'm about to welcome our graduating Year 12 class to the stage, and this year they're dressed as their favourite cartoon characters. Year 12, are you there? This group was never on time and they're proving themselves. Martin.
This is Mummy Cake.
Our first student is Martin Tucker.
This is Mummy Cake. And this is Happy Cake. This is my little brother George. This is Mummy Cake. And this is Happy Cake.
Our next student is Daniel Benucci. Next we have George Armstrong and Dan Goddard as Rick and Morty. Next we have Seb Till and Taylor Bloor, B1 and B2, Bananas in Pyjamas. Next is Ilario Solito, Peter Griffin. Next we have Taylor Bobbin, Black Widow. Our next student is April Alice, Kim Possible. Welcome Ed Gingell, Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Sorry, just the wrong song. Okay.
Same song.
Same song again?
Yeah. Here come Dee Patrick and Jesper Dennis Minster, Joker and Harley Quinn.
And I can all accept is what I want. She's the baddest, I would love to front. Take her shopping, you know, leave Saint Laurent. But no, she ain't with it though. All because she got her own dough. Boss, if you don't know.
Come on down, Henry Murphy, SpongeBob.
Are y'all ready, kids?
Aye, Captain!
I can't hear you. Oh! Over the yellow chorus is here. If not let's be something you wish. Drop on the deck and flop like a fish. Ready? SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Now all representing my favourite cartoon. Alex Torcus, Ice Cream Adventure. Grace Chief and Layla Pritchard, Fiona and Kate. We're all a little bit concerned that Tessa may not make it out the door, but let's see. Freya Stern and Tessa Cockle, Marceline and Bevo. Eddie Pierce, Peppermint Butler. And last but definitely not least, Angus Ware and Angus Brackman, Lemongrad 1 and 2. Thank you, James. We come together today to celebrate this group of young people who've successfully completed their VCE. This is a year-level group that formed in slow stages. It started with Ilario, Dan Goddard, George and Alex in prep at Candlebach. Then Martin arrived in grade 3, followed by Layla in year 4, Priya in year 5, Grace in year 6. At year 7 here at Alice, they were joined by Amber, Seb, Max, Angus, Tessa and Dan B. As the years progressed, they gained Eddie Pierce at the start of year 8 and Taylor Bloor at the end of year 8. Then Dee and Ed G in year 9. April, Taylor Bobbin and Will turned up in year 10, and finally Jesper in year 11. who meet here on their very last day of school to wish them farewell and good luck. As teachers, we often say that year levels have very clear personalities. They can be outgoing, reserved, competitive, adventurous, sporty, academic, nurturing. I've thought a lot over the last year about what particularly defines this group of young people. When I first taught this year level in Year 9, I admit to referring to them as wild and unruly. The stories from that Year 9 English class are legendary. And my temptation today is to absolutely roast them by regaling you with tales of their misdemeanours. But that wouldn't be fair. Firstly, because I only taught half the group, and apparently the other class was really quiet and really studious that year. But also because by focusing on the challenges they presented me as Year 9s, I would be glossing over all the kindness these young people showed to all those around them. Even though I was regularly sending them out of the room and to Sarita's office, banning food in class, making seating plans, and emailing parents about incomplete work, rather than become resentful and combative, they left me funny and kind messages on post-it notes. They took silly photos of themselves with my phone. They created artwork on my whiteboard with lovely notes. Airdropped me photos of things that they knew would make me laugh, and sometimes slightly inappropriate things that would have got them in a lot of trouble. Like I had no idea who was sending me what. They bought me flowers and coffees and whiteboard markers when they could see that I needed them. Despite their sometimes diabolical behaviour in Year 9, they thanked me very warmly and genuinely at the end of every class. And this is a behaviour that I've seen them continue right throughout school. As this year level grew and changed over the years, each newcomer was welcomed warmly, drawn into the fold and supported. This year level always accepted difference and understood when someone needed a bit of extra kindness. This group was particularly good at Angels and Mortals and Kris Kringle. This isn't really surprising because their kindness is quiet and often anonymous. They give without show or any need for recognition. I would also like to point out that this is one of the most creative groups of students we have ever had. On this stage we have musicians, actors, dancers, writers, designers, graffiti artists, animators, carpenters, lead lighters, producers, tattoo artists, filmmakers and photographers. We also have mathematicians, engineers, no, okay, good, climbers, hikers, basketballers, tennis players, cricketers, animal trainers, baristas, scout leaders, equestrians, skiers, snowboarders and chess players. This group is diverse and eclectic but bound together by their immense kindness. Here at Alice Miller, we tend to measure success in VCE by how meaningfully students move towards their adult lives. We think about ATARs as a kind of necessary currency, only required by those who want to compete for a place at university. Just one small measure of a student's growth, progress and hard work. Whilst I'm about to announce the academic awards, which celebrate the obvious and tangible success those students have had in their coursework this year, it is important to acknowledge the success of all students in the year level. Every single student on this stage has achieved something more than they thought they were capable of. They have pushed through immense challenges presented by the years of the pandemic and by the bumpy road of life, to produce great art, to finish their coursework at a standard beyond what they expected of themselves, and make purposeful plans for their future. I will now announce the recipients of the 2022 Academic Awards, but before we do that, let's give the whole year level a big round. So these students will actually receive their awards at the formal ceremony tomorrow night. These awards are calculated by the highest coursework score in these subject areas. So the English prize this year is being awarded to Max Berder. The Maths Award is being awarded to Angus Ware. The Science Award is also being awarded to Angus Ware. The Humanities Award is being awarded to Max Berger. The Languages Award is going to Grace Keith. Health and Physical Education has been won by Ed Gingell. Performing Arts goes to Ilario Solito. And last but not least, Visual Arts, Priya Stern. Please join me in huge congratulations, not only to those students who are receiving awards, but to this entire group of funny, engaging, interesting, kind and thoughtful young people who've been such an important part of our school. Now I'm going to hand over to Amber, Priya, Ed, is it Peter? Yeah, that was the final, it's changed a few times, who are going to speak on behalf of the class of 2022.
Throughout our journey at Alice Miller, we've been all over the place. From the Letterberg track during our Year 8 hike, to Poland through Czechia on a 2-week 800-kilometre bike trip in Year 9, and now we're here. We remember our time at Alice Miller for the rest of our lives, that's for sure. Differently to how we would have remembered our high school years if we'd studied at many other schools close by. When I think about my time here at Alice Miller, there are so many different experiences that come to mind, all unique in their own way. From drinking a glass of bottled milk from a vending machine in some random street of Poland, to climbing the Tatcha Mountains, to playing downball on tables in English breaks. You can never really be sure what your next experience will be or where it will take you. I guess that's why so often at this school, you're always urged to try new things. Say yes to new opportunities and push yourself to do things outside of your comfort zone. It's these experiences that you're going to remember. These times that will help you connect with the people around you, and these things that will help you grow and broaden your horizons. I wouldn't consider myself all that much an adventurous person, but I still got to try and experience all these new things just by having an open mind. So that's what I'll advise all of you to do. I don't think you have to be the one who's always first through the door, or the first person to take the leap, but I advise that you all be open to it and be prepared to go out of your comfort zone. Because even then, this school will always provide you with new experiences that you'll remember for years to come. Thank you.
The social aspect of Alice Miller has been absolutely incredible, and I know we've all made lifelong connections here. One thing I'd like to touch on that we hope stays as it is how dynamic and connected the different year levels are at Alice Miller. I myself have made friends with numerous people from every year level, and I love how interconnected we all are. That is one of the many privileges of having such a small school. Being constantly surrounded by supportive teachers and adults has been absolutely amazing as well. Without all these teachers around us, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to go on the big trip, for instance. There are a couple of funny stories we'd like to share from our journey in Europe in 2019. Like the time on the big trip that Martin and Marla decided that competitively bumping wheels on their bikes was a good idea, and Martin ended up in Poison Ivy. Or the time when Dee and I got lost at night time in a tiny town in Czechia because we were following a black cat and paid no attention to where we were going. The Europe trip experience was definitely one of the most memorable life-changing experiences we've all had, and is one of the reasons why Alice Miller is so incredibly unique. The school presents you with opportunities and adventures, and we suggest to all the other year levels that you embrace these opportunities with open-heartedness and good spirit, because high school doesn't last forever. And although we've finished, for many of us, school has been a large part of our lives since prep at Counterbuff all the way up until today. Finished exams, receiving early uni offers as we anxiously await our ATOS scores. Speaking in front of all of you, officially graduating tomorrow night with parents, teachers and friends. Crazy. Tessa, I know we still all remember that time when you and I got stuck together, both inside the swirly thing in the playground near Donna's shed in Year 7, when we barely knew each other, and Penny almost had to call the fire department to cut us out. And when Daniel got Max and Grace lost for 2 hours in the never-ending bush in Year 8. or the actual life or death seriousness of ditching cross country. Don't do it, guys, seriously. Or when Tessa cut her hand open in year 7 in the gym. Sorry, Tessa, picking on you here a little. Anyways, we encourage everyone to take up all the opportunities presented at the school, and we mean all. Enter that poetry competition, audition for that school play, take up Tina's offer for extra maths. I'm sorry I left maths after year 10 for Tina. Make your time here worthwhile. You've got the support from teachers and pupils, so you've got to trust yourself and dive in deep. Give and you'll receive. We hope that soon enough, when each of you are at the same place we are now, you'll be able to look back and relive all the memories and be glad that you made the most of your time here. You've all got this.
We do have to give a special thanks to all the teachers for their leniency and forgiveness this year regarding the sunroom. We can't imagine our exam season without our dedicated study space. We don't know how we made it to the end of the year with the sunroom intact, but miracles happen. Our bulletin board, intended to showcase uni courses and BCE information, is constantly covered by our own artistic creations and artworks that were sometimes too creative to be shown in our study space. Our many tests of the rules meant more implemented. We had no food, no music, and no socialising in the sunroom by the end, and while it sucked, it hopefully meant that some of our classmates had the opportunity to get done what they needed to do to get into their dream courses and start their lives outside the school right. To the next year 12s, apologies for leaving the sunroom under the spotlight of staff, but we trust that you can make it to exam season like we did barely. The warmest of thanks to our VC coordinator Sky, our year level coordinator Karen, and every single amazing teacher we've had throughout any year. We could not have had a better pick of teachers and mentors throughout the year. So to the teachers here today, and to any who've taught us who aren't here, thank you. And of course, big thank you to Sarita and John for all the work you put into this school to make it the place it is today. As well as Lisa, Penny, Linda, Bob, Tom, Dan, Rowan, every other staff, James, to all of you and every person in every year level. Thank you so much for being by our side and helping us through year 12. Surprisingly, we didn't hear too many balls bouncing or loud chatting during exams, which really helped us. It's much appreciated. Thank you all, we will miss you, and good luck with that.
Thanks to the three of you for your words of wisdom. Ideally, what should be said to every child repeatedly throughout his or her schooling life is something like this. You are in the process of being indoctrinated. We have not yet evolved a system of education that is not a system of indoctrination. We are sorry, but it is the best we can do. What you are being taught here is an amalgam of current prejudice and the choices of this particular culture. The slightest look at history will show how impermanent these must be. You are being taught by people who have been able to accommodate themselves to a regime of thought laid down by their predecessors. It is a self-perpetuating system. Those of you who are more robust and individual than others will be encouraged to leave and find ways of educating yourself, educating your own judgments. Those that stay must remember, always and all the time, that they are being moulded and patterned to fit into the narrow and particular needs of this particular society. So says Doris Lessing, the British Zimbabwean author in The Golden Notebook. These are strong words, arguably unfair, and we might like to think that they don't apply to our school, that we are more progressive, more enlightened somehow. But Alice Miller still reflects the values and choices of adults who have been successful in education and largely adopted the markers of success in society. We are not immune. However, one of the markers of this group of graduates is that each in their own way, they are not people to be moulded by us or anyone. They make personal decisions. They move at their own pace, and they have particular goals and motivations that are not those of their parents, nor their teachers, nor even their peers. Their desires are their own. This is played out in many ways. For example, there is a student on stage who pretended to vomit to get out of a bike ride on camp and then chose to run an entire marathon in 24 hours less than 2 years later. There is a student who doesn't need an ATAR for what they want to do in life, yet has worked tirelessly and consistently throughout their VCE because they want to show themselves that they can do well for their own satisfaction. There are other students who have big dreams that require exceptional results in Year 12. These students are humble and keep these dreams largely private, yet work with tremendous effort and focus and with the inner drive that these results require. On stage today, there are breathtakingly talented artists, musicians, filmmakers and performers. Not surprising in a group rich in emotion and spirit. There are students who, at times, have battled with profound darkness and found a way through. Whatever support has been given to them, that journey, getting out of that pit, is largely a solo endeavour and a personal achievement. There are students who, during busy and sometimes challenging periods of their lives, stay behind after school to bring to musical life the shanty punk songs written by a beloved teacher. There are students who, if they had a few hours spare, strapped on hiking shoes and scaled cliff faces, boulders and climbing walls. There are students who spent hours making exquisite lead-light windows, learning the skills of carpentry and fixing tractors for the pure fulfilment of creating, making and doing. Finally, there are students whose love of animals reveals the deep extent of their own humanity. In saying this, I don't mean to suggest that these students are rugged individuals, islands from one another, separated by their own worldviews and personalities. They have a way of bridging differences and forming friendships that I'm always proud of when I see in this school. They go to each other's parties, look after each other, and connect in ways that go deeper than wearing the same outfits or being in cliques. They're not all best friends, that would be unrealistic, but their connections are real. There's nothing fake about the people on stage today, nor in the way they relate to each other. And that is what is required for genuine relationships with other people. Finally, I'll miss being in the gym and watching this group set up the volleyball net and welcome everyone to play. The artists, the scientists, the sporty types, everyone. I also love discovering that some of the Year 12s came to school last week for a last sneaky game of volleyball and chess. Rebellious until the end. Returning to Doris Lessing for a moment. Those that stay must remember always and all the time that they are being moulded and patterned to fit the narrow and particular needs of this particular society. We have robust and individual people on stage, but are they moulded and restricted? Far from it. They are here with us today having achieved one of the key milestones and rites of passages available to young people in our world. They have trusted the teachers here, and the gratitude shown by them for the work and care of their teachers this year and in the past has been very moving for me. But they're not moulded. Their patterns are largely those they have designed and drawn themselves, and their achievements are theirs, earned with integrity. Year 12s, congratulations on your triumphs and your growth during your time with us. We are hugely proud of every single one of you. Let's hear it for the Alice Miller class of 2022.